Welcome into the Birds of the Round Table, the show that doesn't stop, even though the Eagles season died, because now we are on to the NFL draft. We've gone through defensive stay or go, offensive stay or go. I don't know. There's something we threw in with the offense last week that I don't even remember now. But this
Terrible
week,
draft.
There we go. Oh yeah, it was David's. Did we get grades back for David's mock draft, by the way? Did we ever post that?
I know we got live grades that said it was trash.
That's right. We did the scenarios for drafting. We're going to do something a little different take on mock drafting tonight. Concept we came up with. I think you guys are going to like. But before we introduce that, let's introduce the guys. I'm your host, Shane Haff. You can give me a follow on Twitter at Shane Haff NFL. Joined by David. Give him a follow at PHL Eagle News. You can read about his real mock drafts instead of the one we forced him into at PhillyCoverCorner.com. David, how are you doing tonight?
Doing good, man. Looking forward to the last pre-combine mock draft of the season, man. That's cool. So we finally get some numbers, something to look at this week.
Yeah, that's going to be exciting for sure. We'll have a lot of talk about that in the coming weeks. Also joined by Ryan Reese. Give him a follow on Twitter at Philly Sports PSA. Ryan, how are you doing?
I'm doing great. I'm excited about the combine. I have everything all taped and ready to go for Thursday's start of the drills, and can't wait to talk about it over the next couple of weeks.
All right. And also joined by Dibes. Give him a follow on Twitter at Mr. Crockpot. Check out all of his scouting report videos he's been putting out. Doing a lot of work with Ryan on that as well. Dibes, how are you doing?
Good, man. Little under the weather, but the show must go on, man. And it's combine week, man. And we're doing a draft tonight. It's Christmas, essentially.
All right. So we are doing a draft tonight, but it's going to be a little bit different. We are going to be drafting against each other. And we're going to be using a consensus big board that is at a link that I will drop in the chat right now. If you want to follow along, we'll also put it up on the screen as the show goes on. But the deal is we each have to pick one player offense, one player on defense from each of the first 3 rounds. So we're picking guys who we would like to see on the Eagles. You do not have to pick the rounds in order, but once you take a player, nobody else in this group can take them. We've also eliminated the first 10 picks. Those are ineligible to be selected. So there will be no Marvin Harrison Jr. or Brock Bowers to the Eagles in this draft. So we're going to snake draft it, fantasy football draft style, except the draft is just a positioning around. So let's go ahead and spin Dibes' rigged wheel of names here and see who walks away with the first pick.
Let's go.
Jeez. No.
And so with the first pick in the draft, David's going to take Jackson Powers Johnson. We already have established that. So David picked number 1. It's interesting. Ryan, I would have thought Dibes would have rigged this so he had pick number 1. He must have wanted a different pick, though. So let's see which pick Dibes set up for himself here. Let's spin that wheel again.
Wait, hold on. Am I locking in Jackson Powers Johnson? Are we just doing it?
Oh, yeah.
No. Let's get our whole order first.
All right, I just wanted to make sure.
There we go. Here he is. Here it is.
Number 2 pick goes to Ryan. All right, so Dibes is going for that end of the first round, so he gets that whip around on the snake. I see it now. I see what he's going for. Yeah. That's exactly what I would have done if I was Dibes too. So we will go at David, Ryan, me, and then Dibes. So I'm gonna rearrange the order here. David, Ryan, me, Dibes.
Pro.
There we go. We'll go top to bottom. So this is the big board that we're working off of. Each page has 32 players. So you're going to take an offensive and a defensive player off of each of the first 3 pages, excluding the top 10 picks. So that's kind of where we're at. Dibes also is going to be tracking these picks on a Google Sheet that we'll throw up on the screen from time to time. So, David, you're up first. You get the first pick. You don't have to take a first-round player. It's totally up to you, but where are you going here at 1 overall? As if we don't know.
I am taking the center that's going to anchor their line for the next decade in Jackson Powers Johnson. I honestly do think if he was available at 22, if he gets past Miami and Pittsburgh, I do think he's one of the best players that's left. And a lot of people didn't like me suggesting taking a defensive tackle today, like in a mock draft, because it'd be the third year in a row. I made the point that they've taken wide receiver using a first round pick 3 years in a row too. One of them was a trade for AJ Brown, but nonetheless, the resources were the same. They have used in 2021 Landon Dickerson at guard, 2022 Cam Jurgens at guard, 2023 Tyler Steen at guard, and now I'm going first round because none of them are able to do what he is. He possesses the ability to get down the field, much like Kelsey has done. He's got a strong, sturdy core. He's powerful, no pun intended. He'll knock you down. He'll keep fighting even when you are down. He'll jump onto you again for a good matter. He is a technician. He's a leader. He paves the lanes. I don't think there's a better center prospect that's been out last year, this year, or next year. So that's my guy.
All right. So David goes where I thought he would with pick 1, Jackson Powers Johnson. Ryan, that puts you up. You can take anybody except JPJ. Where are you going here?
Man, there's a lot of different ways to play this. Obviously, I really want to get my guys here, but I just think looking at the offensive landscape in the first round, it's not great for, again, my thoughts. I'm not really looking at a tackle. So I am going to go and look at wide receiver. And I'm going to take Brian Thomas Jr. out of LSU. I think he comes in and immediately the Eagles have the best trio in the league. And we finally get a solid player that can play next to AJ Brown and Devontae Smith. This was an easy one because there's not a lot of choices outside of tackle, which I have no interest in taking in the first round for the Eagles. So,
I mean, Amarius Mims is there, and he played tackle for Georgia. So,
true.
According to Little
But we
Griffith
don't like
here,
offensive Georgia players. We want defensive Georgia players.
Yeah, okay, that's fair. That's fair. So, okay, so Brian Thomas Jr. comes off the board for Ryan. That puts me on the clock here, and I'm gonna go to the second page.
Oh, dang.
Uh-oh. Which side of the ball, Dibes? Which side are you looking at?
Nothing. I'm just curious.
All right. I'm taking JT Sanders, tight end out of Texas.
Man.
There is nobody else at tight end that's really eligible for this draft. Brock Bowers, obviously, up at the top of the board. I love JT Sanders. I would love his fit in this offense. And that's the guy just for scarcity. Like, obviously, there's players in the first round I'd rather have, but for the purposes of this, I'm going to go JT Sanders in the second round as my first pick here.
And you picked up an extra pick moving down to do that, right?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Turns out that extra pick's a first round pick I'll make here in a minute.
Damn, that one hurt me because that was my clear target in the second round.
I was afraid that you were going to go JT Sanders.
Thought about it, honestly. I really did, and obviously now I'm regretting it.
So just to confirm, I'm putting it under round 1, correct?
No, that's my round 2 guy. So, I still will take a round 1 guy later.
All right.
Because he's on the second page of our big board here at 54 overall.
Okay. I just want to confirm. All right.
Okay, so that puts you on the clock, Dibes. Where are you headed? You get 2 here, back to back.
I get to go back to back. I'm going to also follow suit here with Shane. I'm going to look at round 2. And I'm going to get a guy on offense just to get balance for my team. And the guy I am looking at is a guy that I think would really look nice with our new offensive coordinator. He's a guy that you can use him all over the field. Xavier Legette is a guy that I'm really interested in. And I think he's a first round guy, but for some reason he's here on day 2. So lock me in for Xavier Legette.
All right.
It's a great one.
So everybody went offense in our first selection here. And then Dives on the wraparound here.
All right. And then we are sitting here
Oh, the New Orleans Saints are on the phone. They would like to trade up.
All right.
They think they're contenders this year. They want to push their chips in and give you another first round pick next year.
Yeah, so,
All right.
somebody wanted to trade me for Brian Thomas real quick.
All right, I'm sitting here on the clock, and I'm going to go with one of my highest rated guys, and it's a no-brainer. It is my first defensive player, round one. Give me Terrion Arnold, cornerback.
Thought about him as well.
All right. That puts me on the clock again. I got exactly what I wanted the first time around. Now I'm really having to think about what I want to do here. And I think
I already crushed this thing. Sorry. those are like my two favorite guys.
Yeah. I'm going to go with shoot. I really wish I knew. I really wish I knew more about who David was really high on here. Man, dead air is great for podcasting.
Yeah, it is.
I'm going to throw my screen up so everyone can see
Okay.
what people have taken. David took Jackson Powers Johnson, his boy, the first overall selection. Then not a lot of offense in round one, but Ryan went with wide receiver Brian Thomas Jr., who I have as wide receiver 4 in this draft. Shane went round 2 with a tight end, JT Sanders, breaking Ryan's heart. Ryan loves him some JT Sanders. More offense here, round 2. Given I don't know if I were to get like a quality offensive player, because I have to wait a full 2 rounds till my next pick. So I went with one of my favorites in Xavier Legette, a guy that can play in the slot or on the outside, good size, kind of like a Debo dude. And then Terrion Arnold, he's my CB1. I think I have him like number 6 on my big board or something along those lines. Like he's fantastic.
Okay. I've decided.
Jaden Daniels.
No, I'm going to go to the first round. I'm going to go to the defensive side of the ball, and I'm going to take Jared Verse, edge rusher out of Florida State. I don't know that the people are going to like that one, but that would be such a good pick for the Eagles, especially with, having Hassan Reddick and Josh Sweat both entering contract years, not knowing what you have yet in Nolan Smith, Brandon Graham. He's probably going to try to give it one more go and then ride off into the sunset. But Jared Verse is a top pass rusher. I would love to see the Eagles add him in. So I'll take Verse.
Awesome.
And that puts Ryan back up.
Oh, man. Stole my pick.
I was really debating between whether I should take Verse in the first round or take Braylon Trice in the second round and leave my first round options open.
Right. I got it. It's tough to choose, but man, what to do here? A lot of strategy. Man, I feel like there's so many guys that I love in the second round that I think I might be okay with just picking the last guy. Like, oh man. So I am gonna take my first round defensive player, and I'm gonna go ahead. Even though I don't consider this to be a crazy need for the Eagles, I do know that they love them some corners. And I'm going to go with Nate Wiggins to solidify that cornerback room with Bradbury. Who knows what's going on with him, with a lot of young players that are needing to prove themselves. Wiggins could come in and be a nice opposite of Slay. So
All right. So Nate Wiggins off the board to Ryan. That puts David on the clock for back-to-back picks.
All right. I am going to be a crowd pleaser once again. I'm going to select somebody who causes havoc. Over the season, he had 40 pressures. He had a 16.2% pressure rate, a 29% win rate. He also was the only defensive tackle better than him in the past 5 drafts are Kalijah Cansey and Quinnen Williams with those stats. He is an athletic freak. It is Byron Murphy. Yes, I'm sticking in the trenches.
All right. Byron Murphy. What number is he at on the board here?
He's 18.
Yeah.
18. Okay. Perfect.
All right. David, you go again.
Yep.
No more first rounders.
Nope. I'm going to do my first pick that's going to hopefully win me some fans. I'm picking someone who has exceptional speed. He can cover tight ends, running backs. He's great recognition in the gap. He outmaneuvers everybody. I think he is the best linebacker in the entire draft. I'm selecting in round 2, Edgerrin Cooper.
Great pick.
All right.
I was hoping there was like a 1% chance that he would have been available for me. Nope.
Yeah, he was not getting to you. I don't think he was getting to me either, but judging by Ryan's reaction there. So
Well,
Edgerrin Cooper
like I said, I think I had a couple of guys, defensive guys, in the second that I'm perfectly fine with drafting. So I'm almost kind of in a wait and see mode, although it's going to crush me every time somebody picks somebody.
All right. So Ryan, you're up. You've used both of your first round selections, so you can go second or third round offense or defense.
Yeah. Man, this is a tough. I just feel like I like too many guys. Just too many. I'm gonna go with the third round. To kind of let things fall as they may in the second. And I'm gonna go ahead and draft my offensive player in the third round. And that is going to be our new running back in Audric Estime out of Notre Dame.
I did not see that coming.
I think this guy is a clear top running back in this draft, and grabbing him up in the third round would be amazing.
All right. That puts me on the clock. My first round offense slot is open. I have second round defense or anything in the third round. I think I'm going to go to the second round defense here, and I'm going to take Cameron Kinchens.
No.
Eagles desperately need safety help. I know that's Dive's boy. I love Kinchens, and so I'm going to snatch him up here before Dives takes him from me and shore up the back end of the defense.
Damn. I was one of my guys that I was like, man, love to see who falls, but I really wanted him. That's a great second round, by the way.
That is brutal.
So that puts Dibes on the clock. He's got first round offense, second round defense, and the third round. Both sides of the ball are open right now.
I have a decision to make here for defense in round 2. Big time. I think
Save me somebody good.
I think I'm just going to lock it in. Again, I'm going to go with the guy that I have a first round grade on, and I can't believe he's sitting there. But just lock me in Braylon Trice, edge rusher in round 2. That's a no-brainer for me.
I really contemplated doing the Braylon Trice second round, Quinyon Mitchell first round thing. That's what I was really debating about last time around.
It's a good one too.
Mm-hmm. All right. Let me skim here. My options.
Can we pick somebody that's on the 4th round in the 3rd round? Are we able to do that?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Anybody?
right. Anybody over 65 plus.
I like it.
I like where your head's at.
I was gonna say.
It depends. Who you looking at, David?
Oh, that's good.
I'll allow you to take any punter.
Okay. Okay.
Listen, I know I might be double dipping here, but I'm going to go with one of my favorite players in this draft. And he's a guy that I've been super high on for a long time. And the guy I'm going to go is Mike Sainristil, cornerback in the 3rd round, to kind of fix that slot position. Elite athlete, amazing ball hawk, just has a nose for the football. And I'm double dipping at corner. I think we have between Arnold and Sainristil and Keely Ringo, we got kind of a new look pass defense for the next several years.
All right, so that puts me back on the clock. I think I'm also going to go to the 3rd round for defense.
Ooh.
And I'm going to take Cedric Gray, linebacker out of North Carolina. I locked myself out of 2nd round linebacker when I took Kinchins, so didn't get to take Trotter. Really want some linebacker help. Sainristil was on my list there at cornerback, but I'll go linebacker now with him gone. And that kicks it back over to Ryan. So Ryan, you've got both 2nd round picks and a 3rd round defensive pick left.
Nice.
Which way you going here?
By the way, I just that was a great pick. Definitely a guy that I was targeting in the 3rd round. But since everybody has their round 2 defensive player, there's no need for me to pick that person anytime soon. So I'm gonna go to the 3rd round again, going back-to-back 3rd rounds. And I am going to take a national champion. And that is defensive linebacker Junior Colson.
It really threw me off when you said defensive line. Like, who are you looking at?
There's nobody from Michigan on the defensive line. 3rd round.
All right, that puts David up. David, you've got the back-to-back picks here. You have both 3rd round picks and your 2nd round offense. You are the only person left with a 3rd round defensive pick. So unless there's just somebody that you'd feel bad for them if you don't call their name here, you might be looking at your offensive guys here.
I'm going 3rd round offense first. I'm picking a guy who I think is going to blow up during the combine. I think he's just going to show off. He already has a 26% explosive rushing rate, which is the best in class, 3% better than anybody else. A 31% missed tackle rate, which was 5th in class. 59% of his yards come after the hit, after contact. It is Jalen Wright out of Tennessee, running back.
That's a good one.
That's a good one.
Somehow he's ranked like 150th on this board. But
Yeah, that was weird. I didn't like that either.
I'll take him at 97, though. And then I get to go to my 2nd round offensive player.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going with the guy who's a little undersized, but he has excellent speed, great slot receiver, quick off the line, probably one of the best route runners, if not the best route runner in class, Ladd McConkey.
Ooh, I like it.
Very nice.
Lad.
I got 1 pick left.
You could do a lot of fun names a lot of fun things with that name, by the way. But okay, so that kicks it back to Ryan. Ryan, you're the only guy left with 2nd round picks, period. So it doesn't really matter which side of the ball you go here. But
Oh yeah. Oh, I guess you're right. Wow, that's really funny. All right. Well, then I'm gonna take my boy. Come on home, baby. Come on home. Bring your axe with you. Got a lot of chopping to do, baby. Axe Junior, Trotter Junior, coming home. Let's go.
all right. So Ryan gets the most unrealistic draft because I mean we took linebackers, but he took 2 linebackers. So.
Yeah.
I would have took one in the first if I could have.
All right, so that puts me on the clock. Dibes and I both have first-round offense and third-round offense left. I could do something here that would be like the absolute best move, but would absolutely lose me the draft because when we post the screenshots, no one would get the logic that goes alongside it. But like objectively, the right decision is you draft Jaden Daniels because you could trade him for a lot. Because he's number 11 on this board. He's probably actually going to be a top 5 pick. I'm not going to do that though, but I just want you to know that I could have. Dibes is going to do it, and then we can make fun of him for cheating.
Right. The Dibes move.
Yeah. I'm going to go. I'll go to my first round offensive pick and give me Graham Barton.
No, come on, man.
Graham Barton, he's going to be the right guard of the future when Cam Jurgens is either going to shift to center this year because Jason Kelce retires, or he's going to go take a seat next to Jeff Stoutland, and Graham Barton's going to take his starting job because he's going to be an incredible right guard. So there we go. My investment into the trenches is complete with Graham Barton.
Well done, sir. Well done. Looking at who I have available. These are my final 2 picks, correct?
Correct. You get first round offense, third round offense.
Man, and I can't like put someone in round 2 into round 1, correct?
No.
That sucks.
Yeah, because first round offense was a little light.
Graham Barton was definitely like another guy I was looking at.
Yeah.
I was going to go, obviously.
I thought about him for my pick even too.
Yeah, pretty much all that's left in the first round on offense is Keon Coleman and offensive tackles, I think.
I already have a wide receiver.
We need more.
I'm going to go because he can kind of provide that backup tackle, but also be really good inside, which I project him to be. Give me Troy Fountainu. I don't like it, but it is what it is.
All right, Troy Fountainu out of Washington, and then you're up with your third round offensive pick as well.
That was difficult. My third round offensive player. I could obviously go a lot of different routes. I have Xavier Legette. I don't know if I should double dip there. I'm thinking about it. But I'm going to follow the round 3 running back train and add one here. Give me Trey Benson out of Florida State.
Nice.
All right. Well, does that mean I just need to take Bucky Irving to make it a clean sweep?
Maybe.
All of us take.
Let's do it.
Maybe.
That was my backup pick if you took the guy I was targeting, which is Malachi Corley. So I'll take Malachi Corley. Give me a wide receiver here. But Bucky Irving was my backup plan. I got nervous when you started talking about double dipping there. All right, Ryan, lay it on us. Who is your second round offensive guy?
Well, see, I've had a lot of time to think about this, and there's not a lot remaining because everybody seemed to have taken my offensive picks. And I don't want to double dip in wide receiver. And although there are plenty of wide receivers that are in the second round that are certainly worthy of picks, Mitchell, Franklin, just to name a few. So I'm going to stray away from that, and I'm going to go with the offensive line. And I'm going to go ahead and say, you know what, Jurgens, you stay right where you're at. I'm going to draft Zach Frazier out of West Virginia.
Ooh, interesting.
It's a good pick. I was with you until you said Cam Jurgens is going to be the right guard again. Then you lost me.
I mean, listen, he could sit next to whoever he wants. I don't really care, but somebody's got to play right guard, right?
Yeah. All right, and that brings it to you, David, to finish it out here with your third round defensive selection.
Even though physicality has become less tolerable in the NFL, I miss the days of like Brian Dawkins laying people out. So I'm taking the most physical safety in the draft. He has great range, great instincts. He's confident. He loves finger swagging. It is Beau Braid.
Nice.
Ooh, your boy.
Love that.
All right.
This is a straight my guy draft. I went with all my guys. Only one guy I couldn't get. Darius Robinson, I really wanted, but I took Edgerrin Cooper just so I can win. Just so I can win this draft.
I mean, listen, you had to take it, but that's yeah. Darius, I'm surprised. Dives, I'm surprised you didn't go that route too.
I know. If it wasn't, if Braylon Trice wasn't sitting there in round 2, I would have went Darius Robinson. But it's what it is.
Awesome.
All right, so there you have it. There are our drafts. Let's break them down here. We'll start with the guy who had the number 1 pick, David. In the first round, took interior offensive lineman Jackson Powers Johnson and interior defensive lineman Byron Murphy. In the second round, wide receiver Ladd McConkey and linebacker Edgerrin Cooper. And in the third round, running back Jalen Wright and safety Beau Braid. David, how do you feel about your draft? How did it turn out for you?
I absolutely love it. The only thing I would personally probably do different was I would probably have drafted Darius Robinson over Edgerrin Cooper. But hey, other than that, that's about the only thing I'd probably do different.
All right. Ryan had the second pick. In the first round, he went wide receiver Brian Thomas Jr., cornerback Nate Wiggins. In the second round, interior offensive lineman Zach Frazier and linebacker Jeremiah Trotter Jr. And in the third round, running back Audric Estime and linebacker Junior Colson. Ryan, how do you feel about that draft?
Well, I got sniped a few times from taking my guys. So, I'm a little sad. I'm gonna get together after this and say a prayer that this doesn't happen in real life. But I don't know. I like it. I think bringing a couple linebackers in, and while unrealistic, it's necessary because we don't have any linebackers. So, and honestly, I wasn't necessarily thrilled about my round 1 choices, but I still would be more than happy if either of those guys ended up being Philadelphia Eagles. So I'm happy overall.
I think people are going to like yours better than like mine and David's because we both had trench picks for both first round picks. And I think people are going to see a screenshot, not necessarily understand the exercise and realize that like it was wide receivers or linemen for offense. So
going for the win, baby.
Yeah, I think you do well in that regard. I had the third pick. I went interior offensive lineman Graham Barton and edge rusher Jared Verse in the first round. Tight end JT Sanders and Cameron Kinchins in the second round. In the third round, wide receiver Malachi Corley and linebacker Cedric Gray. And my second round is my favorite part of this draft. Like I would probably take Kinchins in the first round, and you could talk me into Sanders at the very end of the first round. So I really like those guys. I knew I wanted to kind of get those second round guys early, but so I kind of like how that one played out, but I think people will hate it because I took 2 linemen in the first round.
Don't care. I would run through a wall for that second round.
All right. And that brings up Dibes. I'm going to clip you saying you would run through a wall for my second round and post it when we ask people to vote.
Let's go.
And then Dibes had the last pick. He went interior offensive lineman, offensive tackle who's going to kick inside Troy Fontenot in the first round and cornerback Terrion Arnold. In the second round, wide receiver Xavier Legette and edge rusher Braylon Trice. And in the third round, running back Trey Benson and cornerback Mike Sanderstil. Dibes, how do you feel about your draft as a whole?
Good. I think these are some very talented prospects. The one mistake I did on this was not drafting Graham Barton 1 round earlier. I should have foresaw that coming, and because I think Barton and JPJ are like the in their own tier, and I would have liked that a little bit more. But Fontenot is a beast. He's a mauler. He would fit with that Philly style pretty well. Terrion Arnold's awesome. Xavier Legette. These are definitely my guys. Braylon Trice, Mike Sanderstil. I like Sanderstil in the slot. I don't know what the Eagles do with Avonte, but no more Eli Ricks in the slot. That can't continue. And then Terrion Arnold is going to be our CB1 of the future. Trey Benson's a nice compliment to Kenny Gainwell. Doesn't give you much of a route tree, but he's a one-cut kind of guy that can move the chains a little bit. I think it's pretty good. I give it like a B plus.
All
My
right.
favorite pick by you was Terrion Arnold. That if he was there, I would have taken him as well. I mean, I think that honestly, if he fell to 22, that'd be the only player on this board I would take above Jackson Powers Johnson.
All right. That's a big endorsement from David for sure.
I mean, I also the pick that upset me the most was Cameron Kinchins. I can't believe
that one hurt.
That's where I was going to go in round 2, the next pick, and you took him.
So let me ask you, Shane, would you trade down from the first round if you could net 2 more seconds?
It depends on who's on the board, but probably.
I mean, because you'd have to do it at pick 22, so you really wouldn't know, I guess. But
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it would depend
I like
on who's
that
on the
idea.
board at 22. Like if, Terrion Arnold, Quinyon Mitchell's there, that'd be tough. But I would probably do that because I think there's a lot of good value on the second round of the draft in this year, especially at wide receiver and like safety. And there's only a couple safeties, but I think that's kind of the range.
No, I agree. I think there's like 4 or 5 guys that the Eagles truly want in the first round, and there's probably about 5 to 7 in the second round that they would love to have. So I kind of agree with that.
Yeah. So let me ask you this rapid fire, everybody, before we get out of here. If you had one more pick that you could take anybody that was left on the board, where would you go with that pick?
Second round, Darius Robinson.
Darius Robinson.
Easy.
I'd probably go first round, Quinyon Mitchell.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
Both of those, I would take either one of those. I love both of those picks a lot.
Same.
If I had to pick a different name, I don't even know. Those are probably 2 of my favorite players left.
Tyler Newman, second.
Yeah.
Tyler Newman's a good one. Even no one even talked about Cooper DeJean, who is available.
Sure.
I don't know if he's a safety or a cornerback, but he can do a lot of different things. So his versatility is amazing for an Eagles defense that has a lot of needs in that secondary.
I like Rakestraw a lot. To get another corner, I really like him.
Yeah,
Second
Rakestraw.
selection. Yeah.
And another crowd pleaser, Cooper Beebe. If I didn't have Jackson Powers Johnson, I'd love to have him in round.
Hey, listen. Apparently, his dad's a fan of Dibes' scouting report.
Yeah, I saw that today. That was cool, man.
I
love
contemplated
that.
going
That's cool.
Keon Coleman first round, Cooper Beebe third round instead of doing Barton Corley if I had to. Like if Dibes would have gotten Barton, that was my plan.
Yeah, I like that a lot. Yeah, I think the board falls really well for what the Eagles value in this draft, and I think I'd be very surprised they don't come out of here with 3 or 4 starters, which is something they never do.
No,
Yeah.
you're right. They don't have the luxury of drafting for years down the road. They need impactful players now. And that second round with those 2 picks, they have so many options. There's so many positions in need, and there's going to be so many fantastic prospects to choose from. I just can't wait. There's so many guys that I'm going to love being the Eagles in that second round.
Yeah.
Until it's an offensive tackle in the first round and you just cry yourself to sleep.
Yeah, no, I'm probably going to cry a full day and miss the second round.
I'm telling you, like, remember my Howie on crack mock draft?
Yes.
Yeah, I'll never forget that.
Yeah, no, that was
Tyler Guyton, and we're all just going to go to sleep angry.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah, they're gonna take an OU player, and I'm gonna be pissed about it.
Yeah.
I'll wear my OU hat, and I'll be upset about it.
Nice.
So, all right. Well, I feel better about my draft now, knowing how many guys I stole from Ryan and Dibes.
Yeah, you
They
did.
were about to take JT Sanders, Kinchins, Barton. So half my picks were stealing somebody that was going the next pick. So
And yet all we talked about was stealing Jackson Powers Johnson from
I got so lucky.
Yeah, you did. If I had first pick, that's exactly what I was doing.
I don't even know who else I like on offense in round one. There's like literally no. It's Graham Barton, which is just as nobody else is going to like that either.
Yeah, first round offense was real tough because
Yeah.
the really good receivers are all in the top 10, so they were excluded. So it's a lot of offensive linemen and like a couple receivers.
Yeah.
And Jaden Daniels, which I really thought about, but that felt like cheating.
Yeah.
So, all right. Well, that's going to wrap this up. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Just a little different spin on a mock draft here, I guess. We'll put these out on social media and let you guys vote. You can tell us in the comments here whose pool of players you like better and why it's me. That'd be awesome. So we really do appreciate you guys tuning in on a Tuesday in late February to hear us talk about the Eagles. We're going to keep this show going all through the offseason. So if you guys have things you would like to hear us talk about, creative spins on drafting like this, I'm sure we can do we've done like drafting all NFC East teams against each other, drafting NFL blitz teams, stuff like that. Yeah. If you want us to draft breakfast foods and you'll actually tune in to hear that, just hit us up on Twitter. Let us know what you want to hear us talk about, what you want to see us draft. Maybe we'll do some mailbags, but we want to do what's entertaining for you guys. So I hope you enjoyed this episode. We'll be back next week. Before we get out of here, though, let's throw it around the horn. Dives, tell the people what you got going on and where they can find you. Plug your stuff.
Right there, Mr. Crockpot. On Twitter, I finally started to put out some of the scouting reports. They're like 1 to 2 minute scouting reports. Check them out if you want to, but follow everyone else here. I'm going to be doing a lot of shorts starting on Thursday, like winners and things like that. So with highlight reels. Come Thursday, I'll be pretty busy.
All right. So be sure you are following Dives. He puts out so much draft content. It's unreal. I don't know how he does it. David, plug your stuff, man. Tell the people where they can find you.
You can find me at PHL Eagle News on X, Philly Cover Corner, and also at Philly Sports Network. Follow Dives and Ryan. They have been putting out just like 1,313 draft profiles a week. It is just absolutely insane. Give Shane a follow. He is always interesting and has takes that are thought-provoking, even though he is living in a silo in Oklahoma right now with a great big hole in his home. But he's still fighting through it, still putting out content. So give all these guys a follow, man. Everybody's got good stuff, and enjoy the combine this week and get introduced to a lot of new players that'll probably be on the squad here in a couple months.
Yeah, I was a game time decision, but we were able to get treatment and just get it going in time for the pod.
I think next week should definitely be like a winners and losers of the combine show, I think.
Yeah, for sure. That'd make life real easy for me because we're doing that for BGN draft too. So that's always nice. All right, Ryan, plug your stuff, man. Tell the people where they can find you, what you got going on.
I would just like to say with the first pick, I'm choosing Cinnamon Toast Crunch. Just throwing that out there.
It's a good draft. I like it.
A plus.
Let's go.
I give it a C.
Yeah, add that to this draft. No, you can find me right here on X. Like I said, doing a lot of draft stuff with Dives and a whole bunch of other stuff. Got shows throughout the week. Just make sure, honestly, the best way, stay tuned to Edge of Philly Sports YouTube. Make sure you follow. Make sure you put on the automatic notification. Constant stuff coming out. As you said, draft stuff. Pay attention. Deep dive. And combine, man. Dive in, tape it, go back, rewatch stuff, and get yourself familiar with these players because it's a lot of fun, man. So, but also make sure you're following everybody here because this is what we do. This is what we love, and your support honestly goes a long way for this and everything else that we do for the love of the Eagles and everything. So, thank you.
Absolutely. So, yeah, Ryan takes 2 linebackers and Cinnamon Toast Crunch in his draft.
Let's
gonna call it a day. All right, and you can follow me on Twitter at ShaneHalfNFL. I'm not tweeting a ton these days because I'm trying to catch up on draft work with all of these guys that have been doing it for a lot longer than I have. They got a big jump start on me, but so I'm trying to play catch up while living through a home renovation. That means there's holes. My house is exposed to the outside right now. got holes going outside, and also it's going to be like 33 degrees tonight. So that's going to be fun. My kids are staying at my in-laws. There's a massive Age of Empires tournament going on right now that I cannot keep up with. I'm going to be watching matches for like the next month in between watch. I'm like, watch a game of a prospect, watch an Age of Empires game. But we're going to get through it all. And like Ryan said, you guys tuning in and hanging out with us every Tuesday night is one of the highlights of the week. So appreciate you guys. We will catch you next week for another episode of Birds of the Round Table. We'll talk combine. We'll talk breakfast cereal. Maybe it'll be awesome. We'll catch you guys then. Go Birds.